Commander Zekthor adjusted his environmental suit nervously as he watched the holographic display showing the Terran candidates entering the Crucible. The Galactic Defense Initiative's most brutal survival test had claimed the lives of 17% of all candidates over the past century. Elite warriors from across the galaxy had emerged broken, traumatized, or not at all. "Are you certain these humans understand the parameters?" asked his aide, Lieutenant Velna, her tentacles writhing with anxiety. Zekthor nodded grimly. They were briefed thoroughly. 72 hours in a Class XI hostile environment. Acid rain, predatory fauna, gravitational anomalies, and limited resources. The mortality rate for this specific scenario is 23%. On the display, the 5 human candidates stood at the drop zone, chatting casually as if they were waiting for public transport rather than facing potential death. The team leader, a stocky woman named Sarah Chen, was actually laughing at something her teammate had said. Beginning Phase 1 announced the automated system. Environmental hazards activating. The sky in the Crucible darkened as corrosive precipitation began to fall. Most species would immediately seek shelter, begin rationing their protective equipment, and formulate careful survival strategies. The humans, however, did something unprecedented. They started playing in the acid rain. "Oh, this is just like that camping trip in Oregon," shouted Marcus Webb, the team's engineer, as he held out his hand to catch the burning droplets. "Remember when we got caught in that storm?" "At least this stuff glows," replied Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the medic, examining the luminescent chemical burns on her glove with scientific fascination. "That's actually quite beautiful." Zekthor's 4 eyes widened in horror. They're enjoying it?" The humans had activated their protective gear, but minimally, just enough to prevent serious injury while still experiencing the full brutality of the environment. They moved through the acid storm like children playing in sprinklers, completely unbothered by conditions that had driven Korthak veterans to catatonic states. Phase 2 commenced as the ground began to shift and buckle. Gravitational fields fluctuated wildly, creating zones where candidates could be crushed under 10 times normal gravity or sent flying into the poisonous atmosphere. The automated system had calculated a 47% chance that at least one human would be pulverized within the first hour of this phase. Instead, the humans turned it into a game. "Parkour Championship," Chun announced, and suddenly they were leaping between gravitational zones with reckless abandon, using the crushing weight of high-gravity areas to build momentum for impossible jumps through the low-gravity fields. Webb actually did a backflip. "This is impossible," Velna whispered. "They should be calculating safe paths, moving cautiously." Dr. Tanaka, meanwhile, was taking tissue samples from a ravener carcass. "Fascinating musculature," she noted. "I wonder if we could synthesize this for medical applications." By hour 36, the humans had not only survived every phase of the Crucible, they had thrived. They'd built a shelter from ravener bones, created a water purification system using the local flora, and established a small garden using seeds from their emergency rations. "Sir," Velna reported, her voice barely a whisper, "they've requested permission to extend the test. They want to explore the northern territories." Zekthor stared at the display in stunned silence. The northern territories were considered uninhabitable even by Crucible standards. No species had ever volunteered to go there. "What kind of planet do these humans come from?" he asked. The answer came from Chen's comm channel, broadcast to the entire observation deck. "Oh, this place? It's like a tropical vacation compared to Earth. You should see Detroit in winter, or Australia literally any time of year." Now that's a proper survival challenge. As the humans packed up their camp and headed toward the most dangerous region of the most lethal survival test in galactic history. Singing some sort of marching song, Zekthor made a mental note to revise the GDI's classification system. Apparently, they needed a new category above Class XII hostile environment. They needed a warning label for Deathworlders.